All right, bases are loaded, 2 outs. Come on, guys, we're down by 3. Need a home run here. We call that a grand salami. Oh, hey, Camp Renovate, Off the Wall Paul here. And this time, I am back with one mission and one mission only, to be the best baseball player of all time. You might be wondering how me, Off the Wall Paul, the super talented inventor of I Am Products, also known as Romantic Ron, in the newest action movie, Bullets and Blazes. Well, you know, since I've conquered the science world and the movie world, now it's time to hit a home run in the sports world. Are you ready to hear how I am gonna become the greatest baseball player of all time? Ha! Well, Camp Renovate, I'll tell you. I'm gonna break Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs in a single season of baseball. Let's do a speed catch of who Babe Ruth was and why he was the best baseball player in the history of baseball. Are you ready? All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Babe Ruth began playing baseball in 1914 with the Boston Red Sox. Then in the infamous trade to the New York Yankees in 1920s, which cursed the Red Sox for over 100 years, he then later finished his career in 1935 with the Atlanta Braves. During this time playing baseball, he set and broke many records, such as a home run record of 60 home runs in one season, a strikeout record of 1,330 by the time he ended his career. The best of his pitching was in 1960, the year Joe was born, when he struck out more than 170 batters without allowing a home run. Whew! I don't know about you, Camp Renovate, but those are some crazy stats. And if you think about it like this, the average baseball season was 154 games, which meant that Babe Ruth hit a home run at half of the games in which he played. That is incredibly hard to do. He also ate a hot dog in between each inning. So let's average 5 innings times by 154, and that's a lot of hot dogs. Oh man. So each week, I'm gonna put my skills to the test to become the greatest baseball player that I can be. And I'm gonna spin this wheel to see what I'm gonna do. So Camp Reno, help me spin this wheel and find out what my skill is gonna be this week. All right, everybody stand back. Off the Walls Paul's about to show you how it's done. One, the best. Why would I not pick that one? All right, Emma, strike her out. What do we want to pitch? Oh, look at that curve. Strike! Let's give her the old cheese. Yeah! Oh man, catch that. Oh! All right, Camp Renovate, we're gonna do some speed running drills if we can't catch that. All right, couple off speed pitches. Here we go. Finish them off with the cheddar. Strike! Sit down, sir. There's an out. 3. Only gave up 1. Unearned though, error. I want that on record. Shayna. All right. Oh yeah, Shayna, the power. See ya! That was like the 3rd deck. Cheapest seats, still got a trophy. You're welcome. All right, Lucas, here we go. I like that hair. Woo! Stopped it with his face. Not advisable, kids. Here we go, back up. Not a great first at bat for Off the Wall Paul. Tad late. Oh, don't swing yet. That's terrible. Off the Wall Paul in this game is not very good. Caught a man. She's sweating it. All right. She pumped it up for that one. Oh yeah, Carter. Right past the center fielder. Keep going. Keep it going. Maybe Dubs. That'll score 2. Mikhail. Woo! Way too early. Okay. She knows the power I got. Is that back to back? Michael, 2 for 2 with 2 homers. Just name him Off the Wall Paul. Bodica, come on. All right, 2 strikes. We gotta shorten up that swing. Let's get it in play. Either get down or get out. Got down in a glove. That's an out. All right, here we go. 10-1. Doing all right. Call it. Woo! Didn't see it coming. Put it in the dirt. Fouled it off. That's respectable. Oh, didn't mean to pitch that. All right, plays a 1. Yes! That's an out. Mercy rule, baby! Mercy. That's the game. Off the wall, Paul wins. And the rest of his team. This reminds me of the story in the Bible when God used someone to change the game. In John chapter 6, we see the disciples are all gathered around Jesus, and they are surrounded by a crowd of people who are really, really hungry. Kind of like me. I am kind of hungry right now. I could go for one of those Babe Ruth hot dogs. Anyway, Jesus asked the disciples, how are they going to feed all of the people? It is said that there were 5,000 men, which even included more for the wives and the children. The disciple Philip then answered in verse 7, even if we worked for months, we wouldn't have enough money to feed them. In Matthew, it is recorded that the disciples suggested sending all of the people home so they could get their own food and then they would return. Jesus told them that was unnecessary. Instead, he said, let's see what we have here. The disciples began looking amongst the crowd all around to see if they had anything. Simon Peter's brother spoke up, and in verse 9 says, there's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what good is that with this huge crowd? You know, kind of like my games. Camp Renovate, do you think that 5 loaves of bread and only 2 fish can feed more than 5,000 people? Ha, that's silly. Well, we're about to find out. In verse 10, tell everyone to sit down, Jesus said. So they all sat down on the grassy slopes. It says that they grouped them into smaller groups of 50. If you look around Camp Renovate, you are in about 2 groups of 50 right now. That's still a lot of people. Then Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks to God, and distributed them amongst the people. Afterwards, he did the same with the fish, and they all ate as much as they wanted. After everyone was full, Jesus told his disciples, now gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted. Wait a minute, there was leftovers? Wait, Jesus not only fed the people, but then multiplied it to be more than they needed? Wow, God used the little boy's lunch to do great things. What do you think would have happened if the little boy wasn't generous with his lunch? The story would have been different for sure. God used the little boy's lunch to change the game. Remember we talked about Babe Ruth breaking the home run record, hitting 60 home runs? Well, when he did that, he changed the game of baseball. Just like the boy in the Bible, we can be generous. In fact, I know God by being generous. God wants us to be generous to those around us. In fact, because of that boy being generous with his lunch, we can now learn from him. Let's say our bottom line together. I can know God by being generous. Camp Renovate, I will see you back next week right here on Camp Renovate TV. Man, they really should show these pictures up. Maybe like put a pitch clock or something. Come on, dude, throw the ball.